Done.
Like and subscribe may look simple to you, but for us, it's very valuable. So make sure to support us, and thank you for watching.
The film begins with a car journey involving two characters, Jim and Tracy. Jim appears to have a romantic interest in Tracy, but unbeknownst to him, she is deceiving him and is actually a law enforcement officer. Tracy is a forensic psychologist, collaborating with her partner, Dr. Alex Cross, to catch a serial killer. Tracy has been used as bait in this operation, and Alex's team is monitoring them very closely. However, the killer soon discovers the electronic device in Tracy's car, prompting her to pull a gun on him. In the ensuing chaos, Jim swerves the car, injuring Tracy, which leads her to shoot him in the leg before being thrown against the dashboard. Jim loses control of the vehicle, which teeters dangerously on a narrow iron beam over a dam. Alex arrives just in time to attempt a rescue, but the beam slips, causing Tracy and the car to plunge, leaving Alex traumatized as he watches her die. This traumatic event drives Alex to retire from the police force. Fast forward 8 months, we meet Megan Rose, the daughter of U.S. Senator Hank Rose, who attends a private school protected by Secret Service agents. During a computer science class taught by Mr. Gary Soneji, Megan jokes around with her friend Dmitry, the son of the Russian president. After class, Soneji calls Megan to his office and confronts her about her exchanges with Dmitry. He then unexpectedly injects her with a sedative hidden in a pen. As Megan fights back, she realizes he's wearing a prosthetic face mask. A teacher enters, and upon finding Megan on the floor, is strangled to death by Soneji before he readjusts his mask to conceal his true identity and abducts Megan. He hides her inside a mobile cabinet disguised as computer CPUs and escapes the school undetected. Meanwhile, Special Agent Jesse Flanagan notices Megan's absence during lunch and heads to Soneji's office, only to find the dead teacher and no sign of Megan or Soneji. The kidnapper has already left the school with Megan. Dr. Alex Cross, now 7 months after Tracy's death, struggles with guilt as his wife urges him to return to work. The kidnapper prepares a boat for his escape and discards his prosthetic mask in the ocean. He locks Megan in a room while monitoring the news about her abduction. Alex, watching the same news, receives a call from Soneji, who uses a voice changer to draw Alex back into the case. Soneji tells Alex to check his mailbox, where he finds a small boot belonging to Megan. Alarmed, Alex rushes to the senator's house, where police are gathered. At the scene, Alex meets FBI agent Kyle Craig and learns that Agent Ollie MacArthur is leading the investigation, but has excluded Jesse due to her previous failure to protect Megan. Alex argues for Jesse's involvement, believing she has crucial knowledge about Soneji. He shares his insights with Megan's parents, suggesting that the kidnapping may not be financially motivated, which raises their concern about Soneji's intentions. Back in captivity, Soneji observes Megan through a camera as she wakes up. Confused, he attempts to reassure her, but ultimately locks her away again. Meanwhile, Alex enlists Jesse's help, and they discuss Soneji's background after he shows her his photo. Jesse insists Soneji was just a regular teacher with no signs of danger. After some debate, they decide to work together to find Megan. The next day, the investigation intensifies at the school, where Soneji's classrooms are searched. The team discovers a keylogger on Megan's computer that recorded her keystrokes, but they cannot access the information without her password. Agent Ben Devine, responsible for security, admits he had no personal connection with Soneji. While reviewing camera footage, Alex notices a missing photo from the class and discovers a live video feed, revealing a medicine kit with a name on it. Through some effort, he identifies Soneji's real name, Jonathan Mercutio. The address is also written on the medicine bottle, so they are able to locate Soneji's residence. Soon, the FBI barges into Jonathan Mercutio's house and finds detailed plans to kidnap Megan. A bunch of pictures of her and her parents are pinned on the wall, and Alex soon realizes that Soneji is lying to emulate the 1932 Charles A. Lindbergh Jr. kidnapping, a crime so infamous that it became known as the crime of the century. Alex finds that Soneji was quoting the words of Bruno Hauptmann, the kidnapper of Lindbergh's baby. Back with the kidnapper, Soneji is spotted by sea patrols, and they call out to him for not turning on the boat's front lights. Meanwhile, Megan hears them speaking, so she screams for help by pressing the button Soneji showed her. Soneji hears her calling for help, so he excuses himself and goes inside to turn off the speaker Megan was speaking through. He then turns on the lights and manages to drive the patrols off. Now, Megan is all alone, but she is a smart kid and knows her way around. Back with the parents and the FBI, they gather to discuss ways to grab Seneji's attention, with the knowledge that Seneji is trying to make a name for himself in the same way as Richard Hauptmann. Alex is even more determined to bring Seneji to justice and get Megan back safely, which he posits is a storyline worthy of one of his true crime books. In response, Alex and Jesse join forces to track down Seneji and find Megan. They then find a press announcement stating that the kidnapper is far more complex and intelligent than they initially thought, and that Megan's life is in his hands, meaning that they will do anything the kidnapper tells them to do. Watching the news, Seneji feels proud and dedicated to his plan. Meanwhile, Megan, being the smart kid she is, takes down the speaker Seneji showed her and finds a battery inside. She then calls out to him, telling her she needs to use the bathroom. He lets her out, and on her way to the toilet, she places the batteries in the oven that was brewing tea. She closes the toilet door and patiently waits until it causes a fire in the room. It shortly does, and when Seneji becomes distracted trying to put out the fire, she runs away from the boat and attempts to swim out from the place. A fisherman around the shore heard her screams and approached to help the little girl. He rushes to rescue her from the water, but Seneji, feeling disrespected, bursts from the boat, loads his pistol, and shoots down the fisherman, leaving Megan helpless once again. Seneji then brings Megan back to the boat and tells her never to disobey him, or there will be consequences. The dead fisherman is soon discovered by the FBI team, and they also find Megan's jacket nearby. Jesse feels uneasy about Megan's well-being, but Alex assures her that Megan is still alive and that Seneji still has her. Unbeknownst to Alex and Jesse, Seneji's abduction of Megan is only a small part of his elaborate plan to secure greater fame. However, Alex still has unanswered questions about why the kidnapper specifically chose Megan to kidnap. Later that night, Alex and Jesse go to Dimitri's house. Dimitri is the son of the Russian president, and they reside inside a guarded embassy. However, the guards refuse to let them speak to Dimitri. As for Dimitri, he has recently received a message from Megan telling him he is the only one she trusts and that she needs his help. However, it is Seneji who is using Megan's encryption password to send messages to Dimitri. His coordinated kidnap plot is, in fact, revealed to center around the son of the president of Russia, Dmitry Starodubov. In the meantime, Jesse and Alex decide to sit in the car and wait to see if they can talk to Dimitri. Seneji, on the other hand, sends Dimitri a message asking him to go to a payphone outside the embassy. Dimitri, still thinking it's Megan, sneaks out of the embassy without being spotted by the cameras and passes through the outer gates of the embassy. Meanwhile, in the car, Alex spots a strange cab approaching them. Jesse, on the other hand, sees Dimitri sneaking and entering the payphone. They realize the kidnapper, Mr. Seneji, is there, and they quickly make their move to save Dimitri. They protect the boy and scare off Seneji, and he returns to his cab. But soon, he opens fire on them, making an unnecessary excuse for them to shoot back. The two agents continue to shoot at his tires to stop him from escaping. However, despite their repeated shots, Seneji escapes the scene, and they only save Dimitri. Soon, many officers gather at the Russian embassy, and Seneji returns to the yacht to find that Megan is missing. Despite leaving her in her room, she is nowhere to be found, and he loses his temper, acting all mad and crazy. In desperation, the kidnapper sends Alex a ransom demand, asking for $10 million in pure diamonds from the president. If Alex fails to comply, Seneji will have no further reason to negotiate, and Megan will be killed. Knowing there is no other recourse, Alex complies and follows a set of directions to a number of public phone booths spread out throughout the city, where he will make deliveries and collect further instructions. Alex eventually got to a train where he was ordered to break the windows and throw out the diamonds. Having no choice, he delivers the diamonds by throwing them off a moving train to a man in black. Later, Seneji arrives at Jesse's home to kidnap her and use her as another bait. However, after arriving and disabling her with a taser, Seneji finds Alex present in the house, who confronts him about the ransom they just exchanged on the train. Alex intentionally comments on Seneji receiving $12 million in ransom, to which Seneji does not react. Alex then realizes that Seneji did not demand the diamond ransom and that another person is involved in his case. Soon, Seneji attempts to escape the house, but Alex takes the chance and shoots him dead. When the parents hear that Alex has shot the only person who knows the whereabouts of their daughter. They snap and blame him for his actions. Alex, however, promises to bring their daughter back to them. Now, everyone is venturing to find Megan, and no one really knows who is kidnapping her now. As for Jessie, Alex bids her well, and she hopes to find where Sineji hid Megan. Elsewhere, we find Megan being held captive by another kidnapper, the Secret Service agent Ben Devine. He is the one who took the ransom, and before we can wrap our heads around that, Jessie comes to his house, and the two share a kiss. All along, they were partners, and the diamonds now belong to them. However, when Ben tells her that he couldn't bring himself to kill Megan, she gets irritated and tells him that sooner or later, Alex will get to them. She says that she is already onto something, and that he knows Sineji didn't receive the diamonds. After that, she makes sure Ben hands her the diamonds, and then she raises her gun and brutally shoots him. Meanwhile, upon further investigation, Alex realizes that Jessie had known about Sineji for some time and had used him as a pawn in her own plot to collect a ransom from Megan's family. She and her fellow Secret Service agent, Ben Devine, had crafted a plan together to do just that and had been slowly gathering Sineji's information to use when the time was right. Alex realizes that someone had discovered Sineji long before his plot became active and can't help but think that Jessie has been playing them all along. This culminates in Alex accessing Jessie's personal computer, which contains all the details of the Sineji plot, leading up to the kidnapping of Megan, the attempted kidnapping of Dimitri, including his information, timelines, and plans. Cross soon tracks Jessie down to a secluded farmhouse. Here, she has brutally murdered Devine, and she is now intent on killing Megan. Megan, on the other hand, is smart and could give it in to her easily. At first, she thinks Jessie has come to rescue her, but when she realizes Jessie came alone, she holds back from letting her into the room. Jessie soon starts to shoot at the wooden wall, but Megan breaks the light bulb, so it can be hard for Jessie to be accurate. Megan then manages to sneak out of the barn as she was locked inside, and Jessie starts to search for her. But Alex gets the better of Jessie and arrives in time to prevent another tragedy from happening to Megan. He spots Megan and tells her to stay quiet. He then confronts Jessie and takes aim while telling her how stupid she and Ben were to kidnap Megan from Sineji. But Jessie started her manipulation by bringing up Tracy's death. With a single shot, Alex stops Jessie from pursuing Megan and shoots her dead right away. He then embraced Megan and took her out of the secluded barn, finally delivering her back to her parents.
And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our recap. Watch other recaps on the screen. Like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.